Introduction: the hidden healthy foods spiking your blood sugar. Every day, millions of people living with diabetes try their best to eat healthy. They choose whole grains instead of white bread, grab low-fat yogurts instead of desserts, and swap sugar for natural sweeteners. Yet their blood sugar remains high. Their doctors increase the medication, their energy stays low, and they begin to wonder, what am I doing wrong? The truth is, the food industry has quietly rewritten what healthy means. Many of the items that line supermarket shelves today were engineered to look wholesome while hiding ingredients that wreak havoc on blood sugar control. Artificial fibers, refined starches, and chemical sweeteners have replaced real nutrition. Even products labeled diabetic-friendly or sugar-free can contain compounds that raise glucose and trigger insulin resistance. It's not your fault. You've been misled by marketing. The modern health food aisle is full of traps that slowly sabotage your metabolism, and unless you know how to spot them, your blood sugar will stay unstable no matter how disciplined your diet seems. In this video, we'll expose 10 foods that pretend to be good for you, but quietly raise inflammation, spike glucose, and exhaust your pancreas. These are the silent saboteurs behind weight gain, nerve pain, and fatigue. Once you know them, you'll understand why your morning healthy breakfast may be the very thing keeping you sick. Stay until the end. Number 2 is a food most doctors still recommend, and it's one of the biggest hidden sugar bombs of all. Topic 1. Whole wheat bread. The slow morning trap for diabetics. Every diabetic has heard the advice, switch to whole wheat bread, it's healthier. But this single piece of advice has silently sabotaged more blood sugar control efforts than any dessert ever could. The problem isn't the wheat itself, it's what modern processing has done to it. Most whole wheat bread on the market isn't truly whole at all. The grains are finely milled into powder so small that your body digests it almost instantly. The result? A rapid glucose surge nearly identical to eating plain white bread or even table sugar. One slice of commercial whole wheat bread can send your blood sugar soaring within minutes, triggering a rush of insulin, followed by the familiar crash that leaves you tired, hungry, and craving more carbs. Food companies know this but rely on marketing tricks. They darken the bread with molasses or caramel coloring, sprinkle a few seeds on top, and label it multigrain or heart healthy. Many brands even add honey, corn syrup, or evaporated cane juice, disguising sugar under new names. Each slice becomes a stealth sugar bomb wrapped in a brown disguise. For diabetics, this daily spike contributes to inflammation, weight gain, and insulin resistance. It's not just about carbs, it's about how fast those carbs hit your bloodstream. The fix? Ditch the flour. Replace your toast with almond or flaxseed bread, which digests slowly and stabilizes energy. Or better yet, choose eggs and avocado in the morning. Real food, not refined starch. The secret to controlling diabetes isn't avoiding bread, it's avoiding the illusion of healthy bread. Topic 2. Healthy breakfast cereals. The morning blood sugar ambush. If you walk through any grocery store, you'll see it, rows of cereal boxes shouting whole grain, high fiber, fortified with vitamins. They look harmless, even responsible. But for diabetics, most breakfast cereals are nothing short of a blood sugar ambush disguised as health food. Here's the hidden truth. Even the heart-healthy brands are often made from ultra-processed grains coated in malt, syrup, or cane sugar. One serving can contain over 20 grams of sugar, yet the box proudly says no added sugar, because the sweeteners are hidden under names like maltodextrin, barley malt, or brown rice syrup. These fast-digesting carbs flood your bloodstream within minutes of eating, pushing glucose levels through the roof and forcing your pancreas into overdrive. And it doesn't stop there. To make cereals appear nutritious, manufacturers fortify them with synthetic vitamins and iron. But these additives don't offset the metabolic chaos caused by refined carbs. Studies show that blood sugar spikes from cereal breakfasts are up to 60% higher in diabetics than in those who eat protein-based meals. That's why so many people feel drained by mid-morning even after eating a healthy bowl of cereal. Instead, try a real breakfast built around protein and fiber. A simple bowl of Greek yogurt with chia seeds and cinnamon stabilizes glucose for hours. Or blend unsweetened almond milk with oats and nuts for a slow-release breakfast that fuels your body instead of fighting it. Cereal companies have spent decades selling nostalgia, not nutrition, but you can't heal your metabolism with marketing. The box might say energy for your day, but for diabetics, that energy often turns into exhaustion. Topic 3. Natural sweeteners. The deceptive comfort for diabetics. When people finally quit table sugar, they often reach for natural alternatives: honey, agave syrup, coconut sugar, or maple syrup. They look wholesome, they sound natural, and they even carry labels that whisper organic, low glycemic, or unrefined. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Your pancreas doesn't care what the label says. Honey, agave, and maple syrup are still concentrated sugars. Chemically, your body breaks them down into glucose and fructose just as it would with white sugar. In fact, agave syrup, often marketed as diabetic friendly, contains more fructose than high fructose corn syrup. Fructose in excess doesn't raise blood sugar immediately, but it quietly overloads the liver, driving insulin resistance and fatty liver disease over time. This is the hidden reason many diabetics see their blood sugar rise even after switching to natural options. They believe they're making a better choice, and yet their A1C barely changes. The problem isn't intent, it's misinformation. Even coconut sugar, praised for its minerals, carries nearly the same caloric and carbohydrate load as regular sugar. These natural sweeteners spike insulin, promote cravings, and create the same roller coaster of energy highs and lows. If you crave sweetness, retrain your palate gradually. Use small amounts of stevia or monk fruit extract, natural compounds that don't affect glucose levels. But the ultimate goal isn't replacing sugar, it's resetting your taste buds to appreciate real food again. The truth is simple, nature doesn't make syrup, factories do, and while natural sweeteners might sound gentle, for your pancreas, they're wolves in honey's clothing. Topic 4. Fruit juice, the sweet illusion of health. Many diabetics believe fruit juice is a healthy choice. It's just fruit, they say. But that glass of orange juice on your breakfast table is one of the fastest ways to spike your blood sugar. The reason lies in what's missing. When you eat an orange, you also eat the fiber, nature's built-in glucose regulator. But when you drink orange juice, all that fiber is stripped away, leaving behind liquid sugar that rushes into your bloodstream in seconds. Even a 100% natural juice can contain as much sugar as a can of soda. A single 8-ounce glass of orange juice has about 25 grams of sugar, that's 6 teaspoons, and 0 fiber to slow absorption. Your body reacts by flooding itself with insulin, storing the excess as fat, and leaving you hungry again within an hour. Over time, this cycle promotes insulin resistance and liver fat accumulation, even in those who eat healthy. And here's what most people miss. Fruit juice doesn't hydrate you, it dehydrates you. The high sugar concentration draws water out of your cells through osmosis, creating the exact opposite effect of what most people expect when they drink it. That's why you often feel thirstier after juice than before. If you crave fruit flavor, go back to the original form. Eat whole fruits rich in fiber like berries or apples, or infuse your water with lemon or cucumber slices for a refreshing taste that doesn't raise glucose. Juice companies market sunshine and vitality, but what they sell is a concentrated dose of sugar in disguise. For diabetics, each sip is a small betrayal wrapped in the promise of health. Topic 5. Whole wheat bread, the healthy carb that isn't. For decades, doctors and food companies have told diabetics to swap white bread for whole wheat. It sounds logical, fiber, grains, vitamins, but here's the shocking truth. Most whole wheat bread in stores is not whole at all. It's refined flour with caramel coloring and a touch of bran added back in to make it look healthy. The problem lies in how the body reacts to these so-called healthy grains. Even genuine whole wheat raises blood sugar almost as fast as white bread. The reason is glycemic index, a measure of how quickly a food turns into glucose. Whole wheat bread scores nearly the same as sugar, meaning your blood glucose spikes within minutes of eating it, and it gets worse. That heart-healthy slice often contains hidden sweeteners like molasses, honey, or malt syrup, making the spike even more dramatic. The roller coaster effect leaves you tired, hungry, and craving more carbs just hours later, trapping you in a cycle of instability. One major study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that diabetics who replaced refined grains with low glycemic alternatives saw up to a 30% improvement in fasting glucose. Yet those who relied on whole wheat saw little to no improvement despite believing they were eating clean. The solution: replace bread with smarter choices, sprouted grain bread, almond flour wraps, or simple oat cakes made at home. These digest slowly, keep insulin levels steady, and still satisfy cravings. Whole wheat bread has become a comfort food with a halo of health. But for diabetics, that halo hides a spike. What you see as nourishment, your pancreas experiences as stress. Topic 6. White rice, the silent sugar in disguise. For many families, rice isn't just food, it's tradition. But for diabetics, that small bowl of white rice can be as harmful as a dessert. Here's why. When rice is polished and stripped of its husk and bran, it loses almost all of its fiber, protein, and nutrients, leaving behind pure starch. Once eaten, your digestive enzymes break that starch into glucose faster than almost any other food. 1 cup of cooked white rice contains about 45 grams of carbs and a glycemic index close to 90, nearly identical to table sugar. That means it raises blood sugar levels at lightning speed. But the hidden danger is repetition. Many diabetics eat rice daily, unaware that each meal creates another surge in insulin, slowly wearing down the body's sensitivity until the pancreas can no longer keep up. Research from Harvard University found that people who ate white rice 5 times a week had a 27% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to those who limited it to once per week. And for those already diabetic, frequent rice intake was linked to increased belly fat and worse fasting glucose control. The fix isn't giving up rice forever, it's choosing smarter alternatives. Swap white rice for cauliflower rice, quinoa, or wild rice, which digests slower and helps stabilize blood sugar. You can even cool cooked rice before eating it. The starch crystallizes into resistant starch, lowering its glycemic impact. White rice looks innocent, but in your bloodstream it acts like a flood. Every spoonful may feel light, yet for your metabolism it's a heavy load. Topic 7. Flavored yogurts. The dessert disguises health food. Yogurt is often marketed as a superfood, rich in calcium, probiotics, and protein. But walk down any grocery aisle and you'll find that most yogurts are closer to desserts than to health foods, especially for diabetics. Flavored varieties, even those labeled low-fat or fruit on the bottom, are loaded with hidden sugars that send blood glucose soaring. A single cup of flavored yogurt can contain 25 to 30 grams of sugar, nearly equal to a scoop of ice cream. And the irony, the low-fat versions are often the worst offenders. When food manufacturers remove fat, they replace it with sugar or starch to make it taste good again, a trade that leaves your insulin struggling to keep up. Even Greek yogurt isn't always safe. Many popular brands sweeten it with agave syrup, honey, or artificial sweeteners that still confuse the body's insulin response. Over time, this daily habit weakens insulin sensitivity and promotes belly fat, the very thing diabetics need to avoid most. Instead, choose plain unsweetened yogurt or kefir and add your own natural flavoring. A handful of berries, a sprinkle of cinnamon, or a few crushed walnuts transform it into a blood sugar-friendly powerhouse. These simple additions deliver fiber, antioxidants, and healthy fats, all of which slow down sugar absorption. So remember this rule: if it tastes like dessert, your body will treat it like dessert. The packaging may promise probiotic health, but most flavored yogurts quietly feed the very imbalance you're trying to fix. Topic 8. Pasta, the comfort food that clouds your blood sugar. For many, pasta is comfort, warm, filling, and familiar. But for diabetics, it's one of the most deceptive foods on the plate. Whether made from wheat, rice, or corn, most pasta breaks down into glucose almost instantly once digested. The soft texture, low fiber, and refined starch make it one of the fastest ways to spike blood sugar after a meal. 1 cup of cooked pasta contains about 43 grams of carbohydrates, roughly equal to 10 teaspoons of sugar. But the real danger lies in how the body processes it. Pasta digests quickly, causing an immediate insulin surge followed by a steep drop, leaving you hungry and tired soon after eating. This constant roller coaster keeps the pancreas overworked and accelerates insulin resistance. Even whole grain or gluten-free pastas are not much better. Though slightly higher in fiber, their impact on glucose levels remains high. One study from Diabetes Care found that patients who replaced refined pasta with low glycemic alternatives like lentil or chickpea pasta saw 25% lower post-meal glucose levels after just 2 weeks. Another trick most people overlook: temperature. Cooling pasta after cooking changes part of its starch into resistant starch, which digests slower and causes a smaller glucose spike. Reheating it gently doesn't undo this effect, a useful trick for those who can't give up pasta entirely. To enjoy safely, pair small portions with protein and fiber like grilled salmon and sautéed spinach. This combination slows digestion and prevents sugar overload. For diabetics, pasta isn't comfort, it's chemistry. Delicious, yes, but in your bloodstream it acts like a sugar storm disguised as dinner. Topic 9. Energy bars and healthy snacks. The blood sugar trap. They promise energy, protein, and fiber, but for diabetics, most snack bars are just candy bars wearing gym clothes. Flip the package and you'll often find 20-30 grams of sugar hiding behind terms like brown rice syrup, honey, or organic cane juice. These natural-sounding sweeteners hit your bloodstream just as fast as white sugar, sending insulin levels soaring. Even worse, most bars combine high sugar with refined carbohydrates, oats, puffed rice, and syrup, creating the perfect recipe for blood sugar spikes followed by crashes that leave you hungrier than before. That's why so many people reach for a second bar just hours later. The body doesn't crave more energy, it's trying to stabilize the chaos you created with the first bite. Manufacturers know this. They design the taste and texture to trigger dopamine release, your brain's reward chemical. The result? A mild addiction disguised as a health habit. One Journal of Nutrition study found that regular consumption of processed energy bars was associated with higher fasting glucose and more belly fat, even among people who exercise daily. For diabetics, these snacks are particularly harmful because they interrupt stable glucose rhythm, the key to long-term control. The better alternative? Real food snacks. A handful of almonds, Greek yogurt with cinnamon, or celery sticks with peanut butter. They satisfy hunger, support blood sugar balance, and provide steady energy without the crash. If it comes in a shiny wrapper and promises to boost your day, it's probably doing the opposite. For diabetics, every snack matters because stability, not stimulation, is the real measure of energy. Topic 10. Fried foods. The hidden trigger behind insulin resistance. For diabetics, fried foods are one of the most dangerous comfort traps. They may taste harmless, crispy chicken, golden fries, or onion rings, but each bite is loaded with a toxic mix of refined oil, starch, and advanced glycation end products, AGs. These compounds are created when food is cooked at high heat, and they accelerate the very damage diabetes causes inside your body. AGs attack your blood vessels, nerves, and kidneys, the same organs diabetes already puts at risk. They stiffen arteries, promote inflammation, and block the normal release of nitric oxide, a molecule that keeps blood flowing smoothly. The result? High blood pressure, poor circulation, and worsening insulin resistance over time. The oils used for frying, especially seed oils like soybean, canola, and corn, make things even worse. When repeatedly heated, they break down into oxidized fats that the body mistakes for real nutrients. These damaged fats are stored in your tissues and liver, fueling inflammation and making it harder for your cells to respond to insulin. One landmark study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people who ate fried foods 4 times per week were 55% more likely to develop insulin resistance than those who avoided them. For diabetics, the risk is even higher. The solution is simple but powerful. Choose roasting, baking, or air frying instead. These methods use minimal oil while preserving texture and flavor. Replace seed oils with olive, avocado, or coconut oil, all rich in stable fats that protect cells instead of damaging them. Remember, fried food may satisfy the tongue, but it starves your cells. The real flavor of life comes from feeling strong, not sluggish. Closing the truth, every diabetic deserves to know. Most people think diabetes is only about sugar, but it's about survival. Every bite you take either helps your body heal or pushes it closer to exhaustion. When you avoid these 10 hidden traps, fruit juice, healthy bread, pasta, fried foods, and all the rest, you give your metabolism a fighting chance to restore balance. You remind your body that it was designed to heal, not decline. The truth is, your blood sugar isn't the enemy, it's a messenger. Those spikes, crashes, and cravings are your body's way of asking for help. And every time you make one small, intentional change, you silence that distress signal a little more. You begin to feel it. Steadier mornings, calmer afternoons, deeper sleep, clearer thinking. That's the reward of stability. Don't wait for your next doctor's appointment to take control. The power is already in your hands and on your plate. Replace the fake health foods with real ones. Drink more water. Eat whole vegetables, natural fats and proteins that fuel you rather than drain you. And if this message opened your eyes, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who's struggling, a parent, a friend, or anyone who thinks it's too late to change. It's never too late to give your body a second chance. I'm Dr. Adam Watanabe, and my mission is simple: to help you understand your body the way science does, with truth, hope, and precision. So if you're ready to rebuild your health from the inside out, subscribe now. Leave a comment with your age and where you're watching from, and join our growing community of people reversing diabetes, one smart choice at a time.